Hello everybody. Today we are going to see Unit 13, Management Information Systems. Let's begin. Without any further ado, introduction. There are many kinds of information systems in the real world which use hardware, software, and the people to transform data to meaning, information for business needs, and decision making. Every business process relies on information for day to day activities and decision making. Management information systems have been playing a key role in helping the managers at various levels of business functions for decision making. In early days of business information system, data processing is used to generate various day-to-day reports. In today's world, as business is operating in a more varied and complex environment, managers have realized the need for specialized computer-based information systems for special activities and business needs. Keeping this in view, various types of business information systems have evolved over time as a transaction processing systems, management information systems, decision support systems, and expert systems. Objectives. After going through this unit, you should be able to gain insight into various business information systems. Learn the way information systems support business transactions. Understand the support given by information systems to organizations to perform business operations, decision making, and for problem solving. And know various types of information systems and distinguish between them. Role of mission and organization. Role of miss in an organization. Management information system. This MIS. It's not miss. It's MIS in an organization. So its management information system helps the organization to produce information that organizations need to improve decision making, problem solving, control operations, and creating new products or services. Many organizations have implemented computer-based management information system to retain competitive edge over the competitors. The role of management information system MIS has expanded significantly over the years. Until the early 1960s, the role of MIS was simply processing transaction data, record keeping, and other data processing activities. The early 1970s evolved MIS for reporting to managers in a special format for managerial decision making. The early 1980s have been the time for decision support system which helps individual managers in decision making. The early 1920s have been the age of expert system that provides knowledge based expert advice to managers for decision making. All these have increased importance of MIS for the success of an organization. Management information systems can help a business in that they contain important information about a particular client or event that takes place in the organization or the environment surrounding it. MIS is not as important for smaller organizations as it is for the larger corporations. The smaller locally run businesses are run usually by owners who rarely need instant access of information that larger companies require. Large corporates with varied product lines definitely can't do without a computer based MIS in order to survive and keep pace with competitors. Any MIS performs various roles in an organization. supports day-to-day business operations, supports managerial decision making, supports strategic decision making and competitive advantage, optimizing operational cost, provide timely and accurate information, and provide expert advice to the managers on selected domains. For example, an organization may use MIS to keep track of inventory, evaluate sales trend of different products, keep information about client and employees, etc. Management information systems are used for operational control, information for control of day to day business operations, information required by operational managers to control the daily work. This includes information on current stock of items, employee attendance, employee performance sheet, etc. Such information is very much structured and computational in nature and is produced in fixed format. Example: in an inventory control system, report on minimum inventory levels for reordering of inventory, sales performance figures by product line, salesperson or sales region can be obtained with the help of MIS. Management control information for short term planning, few weeks and months. Information is rather unstructured or semi structured, such as cash flow statement, sales trend analysis, monthly and annual financial statements. This type of information is used by mid level managers for planning and control of organizational subunits. Example: sales trend figure in different regions of the country for product. Managers can carry out what if analysis like effect of price on sales figure, effect of cut on advertisement on sales. Strategic planning information for long term planning, developing policies and long term goals for the organization. Such information is ad hoc and unstructured, such as human resource forecast, market trend analysis, etc. This type of information is mostly useful for top management. Different kinds of information systems. Depending on the end use, the information systems may be classified broadly to operation information systems and management information systems. Operation information system generally helps to support business operation, whereas sorry, management information system helps in managerial decision making. Transaction processing systems may be classified into operation information system, decision support systems, MIS, and expert systems may be classified into different forms of MIS for specific purposes. The information requirements of managers are directly related to the position of manager in hierarchy ladder as shown in figure 13.1. Keeping this in view, various types of information systems have evolved over time. Top. Here we can see the diagram: top, middle, operational. So in this figure it's levels of management and the information requirements. Then comes the types of information systems to be discussed subsequently have specific focus areas to support an organization information requirements. Table 13.1 depicts various functions of information systems. Okay, so here you can see the table function of information systems. The table like information source, types of support, format of reporting used by, and examples. So you can just once go through once in the transaction processing system, management information system, decision support, system expert system. Okay, you can go through that table. I am not going through that. Transaction processing system. Business offers service and products to the customers. In simple terms, transaction processing system is an information system that supports business in the delivery of various business transactions. A transaction processing system records and processes data resulting from business transaction. Transactions are events that occur as a result of business operations, like transfer of money from one account to another account, purchase of items, etc. Transactions are basically a series of related operations that must all succeed or fail as a group. A single transaction of withdrawing money from a bank account actually involves two operations are debit to an account and credit to another account. Transactions processing system allows the two operations to group into a single transaction. When both the operations are successfully completed, then the transaction is said to be complete. TPS can be classified into the category of Operation Information System. Example can be Sales Transaction Processing System. These systems are transaction intensive, and results of such transaction processing are used to update various databases like customer databases, inventory databases, and accounts receivable databases. Transaction processing systems are also used to make day to day decisions that control operational processes. Transaction processing system (TPS) could be online or offline. In case of online transaction processing systems, data is processed by the system immediately after the transaction occurs. Point of sale (POS) is a common example of the online transaction processing system. OLTP. The following are major characteristics of transaction processing system: support business operations, focus on data resulting from business transactions, and captures and processes data of business transactions. For example, consider a sales transaction processing system. Sales transaction processing systems handle routine business operations like sales and maintain records related to those activities. TPS transforms large number of inputs to outputs using simple processing logic and operations. Compared to other types of information systems, TPS handles far more volume of inputs and outputs but generally involves simple processing logic. Transaction processing systems perform the following operations. Here comes data is captured from documents or business operation and input into the system to record a transaction. Then data is processed, that is, calculations or other logical operations are performed for output. The relevant files or databases are then updated with the results. Output of a TPS includes documents and reports. Business operation transaction document and transaction processing system. So business operation and transaction processing system, this was the figure. To save time, storage space, and reduce error of data entry, it is desirable to capture the information electronically at its point of origin, that is, from the point of sales terminal POS. This is referred to as source data automation. Rarely, non conventional methods are used to facilitate data entry. For example, in a library, the barcode printed on the library member's card can be used to capture required information such as name of the member, address, validity date of the membership, etc. Figure 13.3 depicts a transaction processing system at a library. So here you can see figure 13.3 transaction processing system at a library where its barcode scanner and member code is there. The TPS should have the ability to process workflow of a business, and each state of the business transaction can be presented by a step in the workflow. TPS captures and processes data of every business transaction and updates the relevant files and databases. It produces a variety of information for internal and external use. Components of a transaction processing system. Consider a typical transaction processing system as depicted. Input terminal slash data entry process. Transaction processing, batch or online. Inquiry reports, billing invoices. Database. A typical transactions processing system. Data entry. Data can be captured directly from machines, which consists of data when it is entered during business transaction, or the data can be directly keyed in sometimes. Data is also converted to a machine readable form by scanning. Transaction processing. Input data is processed basically in two ways, namely batch processing or online processing. Table 13.2 compares the both. Batch processing, in this technique, accumulated data over a period of time is processed periodically depending on the requirement. This type of processing is economical. It is suited for situations when it is not required to process the transaction data as occurs, and report generated are required only at a scheduled interval. Online transaction processing OLTP. In this technique, the data is processed by the system immediately after the transaction is over. This type of processing is well suited for small transactions and where turnaround time is important. The database is always up to date since these are updated as when the transaction data is generated. Responses to the user inquiry are immediate since the database is accessed and updated after every transaction. Care must be taken to protect the integrity of the database. Controls are sometimes built into the software for this kind of applications. Information systems related to banking are examples of OLTP. The drawback of OLTP is high costs associated with the necessary security and fault tolerance features. Batch and online transaction processing. Here you can see the table. Okay, and yeah, we are then comes database. It is the most important component of TPS. TPS updates the organizational database that reflects day-to-day business transaction carried out by the organization. For example, stock from the inventory database is reduced When an item is sold for POS stock from inventory database is increased. When an item is received, debtors and creditors database is updated depending on amount received or paid in an accounts receivable database. The data generated and processed by TPS are subsequently used for other information systems such as decision support systems, etc. In query processing, the transaction processing system supports query by the end users. This inquiry processing is done by separate subsystem of the TPS. The user can make specific query by using the sending query to the inquiry processing system sitting on a LAN and receive response immediately. Document and report generation. The final stage of the transaction processing system is document generation. The collection of documents generated by the TPS is called transaction document. Invoice generated by a POS terminal is an example. Transaction logs are specific types of documents generated for audit and other control purposes. All transactions recorded on the databases are printed. Examples of transaction processing system are sales transaction processing system, marketing transaction processing system, financial accounting system. One of the special types of transaction processing system is process control system, PCS. These are the systems that control processes of a manufacturing unit in a plant. Many processes have been mechanized by PCS, minimizing human involvement. Data inputs, processing, reports, data update. So here you can see figure 13.5 sales transaction processing system. So here we come to the check your progress one, and after that we will complete till check your progress 2. Okay, in the next lecture. So till then, keep exploring.